So, welcome. So today we are talking about how to create a coaching program with impact that scales. So as we've been announcing this webinar, so target audience, I've been asked just in the beginning now would be experienced coaches mainly, and people starting thinking about how to move their expertise digital. So I would like to start with a quick check-in, and would like to know from you. Maybe you can put it in the chat, or you can raise your hands. Who of you is already running a coaching program? So Mahia, yes, I see you. Anyone else? Simon? Maybe you can just turn on your voice quickly and tell us what kind of program you are running. That would be interesting.
I'm learning solution-based coaching by the Solution Academy.
Okay. So who else? Simon, what are you doing?
So with coaching programs, you mean that we are offering coaching programs, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so then there are online coaching programs, yes. So I'm
Okay.
offering
On what topic, or for which audience?
personal development. So it's like group coaching for personal development.
Okay, perfect.
And Andrea wrote in the group in the chat that she does like as well as individual as group coaching program at the moment.
Okay, perfect. So mixed audience. So we will have some people being able to comment what's going well, what to do, what to get started. So your experience is very welcome. So let me ask the next thing. So if you're already running programs, or if you've been thinking about starting a program, but you haven't done it yet, so what are your biggest pains at the moment?
Getting clients.
Okay.
Pretty typical, maybe.
My biggest pain is I am already a psychotherapist, and separating the two is really hard. Because
So
in my
between
practice,
separating the coaching from the therapy.
yeah, because I'm a therapist for over a decade, and it's already in my genes, in my blood. And this coaching thing is a new scope of viewing things.
Okay. So anyone else? Anything in the chat? Any other pains, or any pains of people who always wanted to do a program but didn't start it yet? No, if not, I will hop on. So
Andrea just wrote that she's promoting her program, I think, at the moment, but not so far. There are a couple of others who wrote in some of their programs, like leadership program and a program for managers, and someone, who's doing the solution-focused coaching certification. So people working on it, which is good.
Yeah, so there's progress. So I hear like the overarching thing is how to win clients for your program once you have it. So yeah. Okay, so before we look at different technologies and the structure, how to set things up, let me run you through this chart here. So it's interesting. So this graphic is from Sam Isaacson. So I quite like the setup for you to reflect on where do you stand on this graph. So on the one hand, what's your affinity for technology? Do you like technology? Are you more, oh, do I really need to do that? Or, oh, that's all difficult? Or are you really into new technologies and trying out everything new on the one axis, and on the other axis, what about your knowledge? So maybe you can again put in the chat where would you see yourself on those both axes. Are you more like the enthusiast, or are you still skeptical? So where would you see yourself?
I'm in high levels in both axes.
Okay, so you are informed enthusiast.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the others?
Yeah, I would also say that more or less in the area, maybe not so high, but yeah, middle high.
Okay.
So gadget freak would mean high enthusiasm and less knowledge, let's say.
Okay.
I guess I would be around there. Although gadget freak sounds a little bit too much for.
Maybe we have translated those categories into pure coaching. So yeah.
I'd say I'm mostly curious about new developments, and I have some experience in working with avatars. So if that fits into the category of gadget freak, maybe, but actually it's not the technical side that gives me enthusiasm. It's more the cultural side, or the in regards to development. How can you use all these new developments to make development better? So the technical part is interesting, but it's what you can do with it is what makes me curious mostly.
Okay, excellent. So, why do I like this? Why do I like this graphic? I do like it a lot because it does impact what's a good technical and also what a good digital coaching solution for you. Because if you're not really into doing things, you might think more about, oh, where can I get support? How do I get something set up quickly I can really then use and scale? On the other hand, if you are really into doing things on your own and you want to know everything and you want to understand everything and get your hands dirty in technology, then this does have other implications on how you should move forward with your digitization strategy. So when we think about getting into your maybe your first or maybe your optimized digital coaching program offering, then for me, the very first step is that you should know your target audience. So why is that? So in general, when we look at classical coaching, then in theory, you could coach everybody. So you have a certain, you use certain approaches or questioning techniques. You use specific models for your coaching. So, and as you are not giving any answers, but coaching is about helping your client finding his or her own best solutions, you might potentially work with everyone on every topic. However, if you move that into the digital world, you can't really market, I'm coaching everyone on every topic, but you have to be really sharp on who's your target audience and what is your niche. So the key questions, maybe some of you already have defined all of that. Maybe some of you are in the process of doing that. Is really, who's your target group? Why is this your target group? So what is your expertise to serve that target group well? Really knowing what's the main pain of the target group and how are you going to solve that, or what are you going to contribute to solve that main pain? And what makes your coaching program really relevant for that target group, so that no matter which software to use, how to model it digitally, so that would be like the very first step, because that's then also what you need for your positioning, for finding clients, for everything else which is based on that. So that's
just don't say, we will be sharing the slides later, yeah, if you want that, and you can also get the recording of the session, so you don't have to make lots of screenshots if you don't want to.
So coming from there, the next step then would be to define the desired outcome for your target audience. So if you do compile content, if you think about what to offer in terms of coaching in the different elements, really thinking about, sorry, oops, that's too quick. really thinking, and maybe you can if you already know, you can think a minute now. What end result should your target audience achieve or receive? So be it career transition, be it being happy with a new leadership role, be it start again after a family pause, be it whatever. So really being very concise, because that's then again what you can use in your marketing messages, and also when you compile your program, what should be the end result, and what benefit do you offer to your target audience, to your clients? So do you want to spend some time thinking on that now, or do you? I would give you a minute or two if you want. Or maybe someone already knows and can comment on that.
What I can say is that I find it interesting to think with the achievements or the goals of the program. So the end, looking at the end and seeing, okay, what has been achieved, what do I want that the people receive from my program? And it's a good point.
Thank you. Anyone else already having a concrete result in mind, or?
I have here something from Mahir. He wrote they should be away from their anxieties and have some sort of protection lifelong.
Okay. So I will not insist here. So I will leave that with you. So that's a bit how we also look at things when we do the software development, and when we look at which solutions to provide, really thinking about what should be the end result, what to achieve with it. So I think that's a very valuable question when you think about how to compile your program. So next thing you could do if you want to set up your program, that's really thinking about or what we experience a lot when we talk to coaches, and we help them setting up their programs. It's how do you sort yourself, and how do you not create like a content monster? And how do you really select the few relevant things which should be in there? And so the next step to really get to the core, and not to be in the nitty-gritty little things, and then you have a big program, you don't know where to start and what to focus on, would really be to think about what are the 3 to 6 main concepts. 6 is already a lot. Your ideal client, your target group, must know to achieve the result you're promising. So be it a specific method to reach a goal, be it clarity on a specific topic. So what do you have on stock in your coaching repertoire, in your toolbox? And what do your clients need to know? And what do they need to do? How can you help them knowing or doing that? And what is the simplest way for them to get to a solution there? So we have still people coming in. I'm just letting them in. So any thoughts on that? Any ideas? Anything you want to comment on?
In psychotherapy or in coaching, solutions are many times just an inch forward of a client or a person. But my mission, or task, whatever I say, my task is to make them see that solution they already have.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to know their potential.
So any other thoughts on that, or any ideas, or anyone willing to share the main concept you want to bring to your clients?
Yeah, I just wrote in the chat that it would be useful for me to receive an example from your experience.
Yeah, we can go into some client examples a bit later in the webinar. So example would be, we have one coach who set up a collaboration program we will show later on, and so the main concepts there, he was thinking a lot of what would it need for people to be better at collaboration at their workplace. So he distilled out, they need facilitation skills, they need skills to solve conflicts, because you can't collaborate if you are not able to solve your conflicts, and 2-3 other points. So that what really thinking in the end. So the result there would be, I want my clients to be better in achieving their goals and better in collaborating with others in the workplace. And then really think about the underlying concepts or topics that need to be in a program to support people to get there. So that would be an example. Another example would be a coach who did a innovation program with us, innovation coaching. So they are really not only coming from what are like innovation tools, like from a product or brainstorming point of view, but also what are the underlying concepts people need to take care of in their own mindset. So do I have an innovation mindset myself as a leader? Do I enable innovation? How I lead my team or my department, or do I hinder innovation? So really thinking about those underlying concepts. What are the 3 to 6 main points again to take care of, and then thinking about which tools, which concepts, which models do you have in your toolbox, in your coaching toolbox, to help people achieving those goals, or to build up capabilities in that area. Did that help?
Yeah.
Okay. So still thinking about that, or ready to move on? Okay. So once you have this frame with your few main concepts or topics in there, you can still think, what else do you have to help and to support your client get through the process. So that might be, you have tips, you have specific tools or strategies, you write up best practices, how other people did it, you share additional resources like articles, you share additional resources, like there could be a really good TED talk, for example, you could put in as a video, as a resource, but then always get back to linking that back to what should your client actually do with it, and how does that support your client achieving their goals or working on their big objective. So making that really simple, so the main thing is to motivate people to take action fast, and to really see what are practical ways, make it short, make it sharp, and really work on the tips and tools, and think how could you support the process, and how could you help your clients speed up and really getting started. So that will be complementing your main points or strategies here. So once you've this would be like the script for your program. So once you have the overall structure in place, then it really would come to defining all the elements for your program. So what we see, many people start with the step 3 and say, oh, I have all that material from coaching, from training, I have this whole variety, I have those 300 different tools, I have those articles, so I plug it all together, and then think, which client could use that, and what could I make out of that? So that makes it difficult for 2 reasons. So one, you yourself feel overwhelmed because you have a lot of content available and you don't really know how to structure and where to start. And on the other hand, it's not really targeted to your ideal customer. And it's easier to work it the other way around and start with the customer's main pain in mind. Really stick to the few basics you really need to have in there, and then start combining and complementing. We have people coming with big lists with everything they've ever done in training or coaching, and so from our experience, you make your life much easier if you just do it the other way around. But once you're there, then it would really be about from our experience, some key elements to create impact for your client. So what we see, a lot of what's labeled digital coaching programs in the market, in reality, let me put it that way, is online courses. So it's e-learning, it's online training, it's not really coaching. So if you think about really coming up with a digital coaching program, so we are coming also with a coaching definition of the big coaching associations, so be it ICF or EMCC or AC in mind, that with coaching you don't really teach your clients, you don't give answers, but you really help to use coaching techniques, questions, tools, whatever, to help your client find their own best solutions. So for a real digital coaching program, which is not in reality an online course, you might still sell it like that, but that's another issue. It does need key elements like preparing and reflecting. So you don't have to reinvent everything, but what's working very nicely. For example, if you have a nice TED talk and then you use this video, but you have a little either a chatbot or some other tools, could also be like a worksheet or anything, asking your client before watching the video, thinking about, be it a video of Brené Brown, for example, thinking about being vulnerable as a leader, for example, then it could be reflecting on before watching the video, what's your experience with vulnerability in the workplace, in your team? What are good experiences? Are there also experience you wish you would not have made, or you would have dealt differently the next time? Then you can use the content element, and then you can have reflection afterwards. So from what I've just seen, what do I take out of that? Was there anything which would make me act differently in future? Was there anything surprising in there? And just with this little combination of reflection parts, preparation and reflection after you saw or watched something, this already makes a much bigger impact for your client. The same with elements for following through. So normally, I don't know your experiences. I do watch a lot of videos. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and usually I don't really do anything afterwards. Same with some people have the discipline to really write a book summary with their personal key learnings after each book. I don't do it. I wish I would, but I don't. So again, if you have created a spark, and if you have your people, your clients thinking, then really think about which tooling you could provide to help them follow through. So maybe it's first the prepare and reflect. So what has surprised me? What do I want to do differently? Then you could check in after a day, for example. Did you already get started with the things you want to work on, or you want to do differently in future? So that would be a way to help them create impact again. So the other big market trend we see now, and which is also helpful when you think about hybrid or digital coaching programs, is peer learning. So be it masterminds, many people have participated in, be it other forms of peer learning. I also brought an example I will show to you in a minute, that you could have your impulse by video or by personal session. You could have those reflection elements with worksheets, with chatbots, with other means. But then you could really say, if you move from one-on-one to group coaching, for example, you link people together in a group, And you as a coach don't always have to be the one reflecting with them, but it's already very helpful if they reflect with each other. So a couple of years ago, I did one of those corporate leadership development programs, and we had a coach and trainer giving all the impulses, doing assessments with us, working on different topics. But the key benefit of all that I found when I did it personally was really be able to exchange with peers and learning from their experience. So I have someone in my team who does not deliver on time. What can I do? What should I do? And then really getting together and learning from the experience, ideally in nonviolent communication, or some do it as that you can't judge, you just, and you don't give tips, but the best way is to really talk from your experience in an objective way. What did you do? What helped you? Offering the others. So think if some of that might be helpful for you as well. So you might set some rules on how the peer process should work around that. But that's really a powerful element to you can use to, one, save your time and really create impact and benefit for your participants and for your target audience to exchange with each other and learn from each other. So, and then the last bit in here would be pure self-reflection. So there are a couple of methods and tools. So be it that you self-reflect as a part of a program, you self-reflect on your values, you self-reflect on what are my talents. So there might be all different sorts of self-reflection, which nicely complement your program. So when could that happen? So one would be like the pre-reflection as mentioned. So before getting started, be it they have already signed up for your program or they are in the process of thinking about it, a good start always could be having your clients reflect on what is their goal. Why do they want to take part in your program? So they can write it down, they can write a journal on it, they can reflect. And the good thing is you can check in with them. You can ask them what do you have to have achieved by the end of the program, so it's a success for you. So the good thing is for you as a coach, you can check in again in the end, and you can say, oh, we've achieved those results. Do you, for example, give a recommendation for me? Can I use a quote of that? How much the program helped me achieve my objectives or get my results I wanted? And you also know what's the level of your program participants. Where are they right now towards their goal? Do you have like starters? Do you have people in the middle of the process? So that's also helpful for you as a coach in the process. And the other thing, what you want or might want to ask them, how important is this goal or the change for them? And also, are they willing to invest in that? So what we do, we increasingly build website chatbots for coaches and for people offering digital programs. Why is that? Because in some programs you have people signing up. They theoretically want to change a thing, but then you have people sitting in your group who don't invest the time working on it. They don't really want it. So this is really a nice way to pre-reflect, have them pre-reflect before. Is it really important to me? What's my goal? Why is this important? And you have a completely different level of motivation in your participant group. So what else? On the follow-through. So what are the points there to reflect on? So the one is how can I, as a client, as a participant, use the received input to pursue my goal or my project? Again, giving motivation. Then with the follow through, you don't have in a personal coaching session or in a group coaching session, you don't have to do what some people would call like nanny coaching, that you take your client and you do all the little baby steps with them, but you can say, oh, we've been working on the main things you want to do now. So you take it from there and you work out your plan in a follow through, in a self-reflection again, be it on a Miro board with a template, be it on a chatbot, be it on a workbook you send out. So different means to do that. but really having them do the work, and you can concentrate your time on where you really bring value in, and what your clients can do on your own, they will do on your own if they do see the value in it. So, and then again, with the follow through, maybe you are very motivated, but then after a week, then it's also difficult. I don't have the time. I have emergencies coming in. Then it's again, with this follow through, you can have your client check in on what are the circumstances. But you could also not only have them think about the problems, but really think about, are there any supporting resources? What could I do to still get started? I do see those difficult circumstances, but most people do have some resources they could tap in, or some networks to really make this change happen, and regularly prompt them within the program to think about what or who could help them achieving their goals. And the other thing we've been learning now, modeling quite some programs, is that it is helpful if you do a coaching program to have people come up with a personal development project throughout the program. So again, taking this collaboration example I gave you a bit earlier, that could be that you define a real work project you take and you apply your coaching and your learning experience on. So, for example, you wanted to relaunch the intranet in your company as a participant, and for some reasons collaboration was really, really difficult and it didn't happen for some reason. So you could take an example like that and then really go through again the key elements and the learning parts, and think what could be for that project, for example, if that would be like your personal project, thinking about how this online or this digital coaching program could help you then get better in convincing others to support you with your project. What could be, how could you use facilitation techniques in a better way? So really taking some real world example and having people do the transfer within the project, and working on applying all that to a real life project. So that has proven to be very helpful for the coaches we work with. So then details on the group or the peer learning. As stated, it's very valuable to have them discuss amongst peers, and maybe also use it as a safe space for practicing. So if you, for example, have a difficult conversation to prepare, you might take this peer group as a safe space and practice this difficult conversation within this group. It also might help you understand like the context or meaning for others. Maybe in your picture of the world, you have some connotation, or you give it some meaning, and others either see it much more neutral or much more could be in both directions. So also there get some framing and get some check in on the context, and get some great understanding of the subject. So this is where it is good for. So then self-reflection, this is pretty self-explanatory. So that would be like coaching sessions your clients could work on or work through on their own. And the good thing for you, be it that you do a group or peer or personal coaching or sparring within the program, the good thing is they come prepared. It's like a sort of homework. You start on a completely different reflection level if they already did some self-reflection before on that topic. And what we see for some clearly defined topics, it's like more than 90% already can do the process and coach themselves using some tooling or some support. But so those would be the two options, that your clients can work through things completely on your own, or they come back to you on another level, and you can work deeper. It's a bit also this, do you coach the topic, or do Do you help them come up with project plans or anything, or do you really then dive deeper and work on value and belief systems? Do you coach the person there? That really helps you in that respect. So what's next? Know your market. So you might have now your dream customer. You might have your expertise, why you are exactly the right coach to offer this to your clients, and which pain you're solving for them. You might have your rough curriculum. And so before you spend any time on buying software or on hiring experts to model the whole thing and bring it out in the market, I would strongly recommend that you invest some time in market research. So this could be different ways. So the one thing I would do a simple Google keyword research, and then really, if you type in, for example, a new leadership program or new leadership coaching program in Google, then it does give you the number of results, but it also gives you, when you use some more advanced Google tooling, it does give you the number of people searching for that topic every month. So you know if you have a really niche topic, or if you do have a topic where quite some people are looking for. So what you also see when you do a Google search, you get auto suggestions from Google, like people inserting those keywords. Also search for those related keywords. Do you want to search for those related keywords? So if you do draft a program, you might think about you should at least reflect, are those additional keywords and concepts, are those relevant for me and my program, and should I integrate it or not? And what you also should do, if you think you just came up with the greatest program for new leaders, you should do some market research and again Googling what are your competitors offering and how are they offering it, what's in there, and also what's their setup and what's their pricing. Just for yourself, you see where do you stand in the market, where do you stand in competition. And so what you also could do, I will be focusing in a minute on more the course development platforms where you have everything on your own hands with definition, but there are also like the big MOOC learning platforms like LinkedIn Learning, like Coursera, like other platforms. So all of them you can for free create a coach or trainer account and start creating things on your own. You don't need to do that. For a couple of reasons, I would not recommend you go with the big MOOCs, because your earning capacity is very limited, as they do huge 90% discount campaigns, and the clients don't belong to you, but they belong to the platform. But what those platforms are good for, you again get some really good tooling for the search volume on a specific topic. So you get for digital coaching, for other topics, you can really look how many people did a course on similar topics in the last month, what's the search volume again. So those would be steps. I'll not be focusing on online marketing today, as this is today more about how to build your program and not to market it. However, those would be important steps before you spend any money and before you find an agency creating things for you, before you spend a year producing videos. Really to find out what could be the demand for that, how could you differentiate from your competitors, and who are the people looking for your topic, and what are they searching for exactly, because that's something you should cover. So next thing, if you have done your market or competitive research and you are still sure this is something you want to do and you want to invest in, then it would be time to decide on your approach. And there are very different approaches how you could create your own digital coaching program. So some aspects to look into. So the one thing would be a coaching program can be on-site, it could be hybrid, it could be digital. So this is something either to try out and to experiment. Some people start with, oh, this has to be on site, but then they try out for some reasons purely digital, or COVID forced a lot of people to try digital, and people stick with it. But really make up your mind what's a good setup for you. There's no right or wrong, but think how you want to run it. So the next thing would be, I took this graphic from online marketing provider. I really like the split up. So going back to this, how's your tech affinity and how's your knowledge, but also how's your willingness to dive into tech and do things on your own, would be the decision. Do you want to do everything on your own? Or do you have some do-it-for-me provider you do a requirements workshop with, and then the provider is coming back to you 1 or 2 times with detailed questions, but all the work basically is taken care of? Or what we would, how we work with most of our clients, and which I really think is a smart way to come up with your own program, is a do-it-with-me approach. So what we usually do, we set up the main structure together with you, so you know how to do it. We model like a first chatbot with you, coaching chatbot, but then on the way in the process, we really teach you to do everything on your own, so you can continue working and developing it. So that takes you over this first hurdle of really knowing how to do it. But then it's completely in your hands to change things, to adapt, to come up with new programs. So I personally like working that way the most. So start with some coaching on the topic, or some training how to, and then really have our clients running on their own. But all is possible in theory. And then the other topic there would be, which market are you planning for? Because then this has implications for your software choice and also how you set up things. Are you doing many coaches are doing some VIP program approach where you work with one client, or maximum 3 to 5. You take like a full day, you dive in, you either do it digital or you do it offline in some cases. Most coaches I know have more like a medium-sized audience, where it's like a group of 10 to, could be in some cases 50 people working on a topic, bringing them together in peer groups. So this is like the medium size. Some do have topics which are in often cases more training than coaching again. So that would be more like mass market, where you want to reach up to 1,000 participants at once. So that has implications if you do choose like one of those big MOOC providers who bring you in the clients because they advertise it to your audience, but you don't earn a lot per unit if you do offer that. And this would be thinking who you want to reach and what's the right channel to reach people, and plan from there. And once you've answered those questions, you can basically start thinking what's the right software for you, what to use and how to model it there. So this is a small overview of software we know a lot of coaches do work with. So let me give you some explanation on that. So this is mainly, I would say it's coaching programs. I would still say it's online courses, it's online course software. So, but this is software where you can either use like more Elopage, Coachy, Kajabi in a B2C way, when you have clients paying for your services directly and you want to market via LinkedIn, Instagram, reaching your clients directly. You have other systems when you think more about serving corporate clients, then you have other requirements in some respects. So that might be more Blinkit or other learning platforms you are using, and there you can start modeling. Many coaches I see do use open source software to get started cheap or for free. So you could also use something like Padlet or even Moodle, which is open source, where you can add a lot of things, but you have to build everything from scratch. So this depends a bit on when we move on. Sorry. That you need clarity. Who do you want to serve? It's more B2B. Then you need a professional learning platform. You need to be very clear on data security. Where's your solution hosted? You need to be sure if you have all those reflective elements in there. It's not so important if you just offer like online courses with videos and maybe little quizzes. But once you move into real digital coaching, it's very important that your client coaching protocols are safe. If you do those self-reflection bits, the information has to be stored in a safe way with access rights. In any case, be it B2B or B2C. However, if you sell your solution to corporate clients, which a lot of coaches do, then you have much higher standards you need to fulfill, and that has to be reflected by the software. Then a big thing, it's always a bit of a juggle between pricing on the one hand and support on the other hand. You should be coming back to the matrix in the beginning, very clear which level of support do you want to have. So are you in a position, do you feel confident if you run into a problem, which you probably will at some time in the creation process? Are you willing and able to fix it all on your own? Are you happy with having some English speaking chat support? Do you want the support in your language? Do you want phone support, or do you really want to decide on a provider which would then guarantee you to really run through you within the process and fix your problems together with you in case you run into problems? So that's, I think, one of the most important things there, because what I really find very frustrating or sad is that people start with very high motivation levels, then start creating your programs, and then there are some technical obstacles in the one way or the other. People get stuck and then don't really get restarted again. So it's about self-knowledge and which support level you want there. That there are differences in the languages supported by those different software systems. So when I go back here, for example, I know Kajabi can do English or English. Otherwise, it's a very good system. Elopage, for example, can do German and English. So I don't have the list prepared for you now. Just when you look which provider to choose, then look at two things. One, look on the interface languages. So which interface languages are available for you to create the course, or the general instructions for sign up for onboarding, which languages are available, and then in which languages, so there's normally more flexibility, can you model your course and provide your course. So, and then last big differentiator here, there are some platforms offering you like a learning platform to model your digital coaching program. And then there are others, it depends a bit where they are coming from. Many of those course platforms come from either personal training, or they come from digital product sales and digital product invoicing. So depending a bit there, do they offer also a website and funnel offerings to bring in clients for your course? You still have to do it on your own and link it and do your own campaigns. But some of them do offer you integrated tools. So that depends a bit on, do you have your own website up and running? Do you want that integrated in some way, which might make sense? Or do you want to run it as a separate instance because you say, oh, you know, I'm winning all my clients on LinkedIn, for example. I'm doing my campaigns there and then have my clients sign up for a newsletter or for other means. So just thinking about the overall concept, if you want a one-in-all provider also offering to create a website from your course and to funnel, or if you're happy with covering the course creation itself. So that said, basically you can do everything on your own, and you can use software to model it on your own. And I've seen coaching programs run in Slack. I've seen nice coaching programs. I will show you one running in Notion. I've even seen coaching programs. I wouldn't do it for data security reasons, but coaching programs run via, little green thing. messenger services the one way or the other. I've seen programs on LinkedIn, so you can do all sorts of things and use collaboration software. I personally would use that software to complement a course I've created in a learning or coaching system the one way or the other. I wouldn't expect to have everything happen here. But once you move into, so with one-on-one, you might get along with not offering any collaboration software. But once you think about group offerings, you do need a safe space where your clients can exchange, come together as peer groups, where you can have personal channels for you to discuss one-on-one with your clients. So I personally like Slack a lot for that. I know it's at least hosted in European Union, and they are quite okay for data security. It's never 100%, but you have to think there in terms of usability and data security. Where do you move? I would not use anything out of Facebook universe probably for talking to my clients, but I've seen everything. So just for you to think which collaboration software. So to collaboration software, it's also usually belonging things like which video software are you using, which if you are working with whiteboards, what are you using, thinking what's the right solution for you, and always having this ethical part and data security part in mind. So how could you actually move ahead? I've brought you some options or examples. So how could development be? So this is one of our clients. This is from the one I told you with the collaboration program. So what did he do? He was training face-to-face, working with people. Then during COVID, he started to put everything like in a Padlet, like here. And so this would be like a do-it-yourself option. And then moving on from there, plugging all the different content parts in, and then having different content modules working and coaching through with his clients. So what did we do with him? We gave it a modern look and feel, and we've been working with Christoph in that case. So that he does have coaching chatbots to prepare for the different sessions. He has like a learning canvas after each of those modules, like a journal ongoing, reflecting on what did participants take out of that. For example, how to convince other session. What do they want to transfer to their personal work environment? So from like one-on-one training and personal coaching sessions, we've been working with him to complement around that the follow-through, the preparation, and also the peer group facilitation, and modeled all of that into a nice and modern looking digital program offering. He can now present in that way much more modern and clean to his corporate clients. So that would be one way to move forward. So, but I mean, before you do nothing, it's still better to get started with, be it Moodle, be it Padlet, be it anything. So I'm showing you that because for me, it's like an evolutionary process. You can start with the perfect thing in mind. However, it's better to get started with anything than not to get started at all. So I really want to also show you a bit of evolution here. Other coaches are taking, and to encourage you to get started compiling what you have and what you want to do. So this is another example. I will not, I do like a lot because they're doing it in a very modern way. It's not classical coaching, but they have a lot of coaching elements in it. So this is why I took it. So that's a Berlin-based company, and they are working a lot with startup and scale-up employees. And they model everything in Notion. So this is like how you could have a quite simple do-it-yourself interface. You could put your content in. So they modeled the curriculum in there. They have the participants in there. They have a course timeline. So Notion is a not for free, but quite cheap tool with a modern and clean interface where you can link, for example, different Slack channels or other resources in. And what I do like a lot about their concept, they work with peer groups. So it's always like a content impulse session by session here with some well-known people from the startup arena. But then afterwards, people are coupled in peer groups or breakouts within each session, then really reflecting on what are my experiences on that, what does it mean for me, what do I take from there. Give you an example of one of the sessions. So here you have different templates, and you have the direct or synchronous video session explaining concepts and going through showing challenges. And then what they have some Excel templates in here people could fill in. This like the typical coaching wheel examples. And then people fill that within a session and also come back and revisit, like in the next session, did anything on that change? Do I have additional thoughts on that? So that's it's combined training, coaching, organizational development. However, that for me, I brought this example in because it's a way how you can, with your own means, structure things nicely, using cheap technology for that, and get into also this peer coaching aspects of it. So not really best practice, but that's how most people do it. This is Marcia Reynolds, maybe some of you know. So that's she's doing introductory courses in breakthrough coaching, how to work better with your clients. I took that in. I could have taken anything. So that's a very classical online coaching structure again, where you have like little videos. So this is done with one of the online course systems, just to show you structure here. So having little videos, then she's doing it as a PDF handbook. So for me, that's a bit the old world, but it's still valid to do it like that. That you watch a video and then you work through what does that mean for me, and just to show how most of those offerings are structured nowadays. And what I quite liked about how they did it, if it's about winning clients, which I understood is a main challenge for some of you in this audience, then she's offering like the first two modules here, the introductory and first module, for free. So you get started, you get to know the content, you know if it's something you want to dive deeper. So she's giving out a freebie, which I quite like when talking about this digital coaching programs. And then if you are hooked on and you want to work beyond module one, then the payment system is coming up asking you for your credit card. So that's also like one thing hindering people buying digital coaching products probably is that they don't know what they get and they don't know what's in there. So this is why I chose exactly that example to show this is a way how you could structure it, that you could give out little things for free. So people know you and your coaching style or your program style. And then once you've hooked them on, then you can more easily charge them for your digital coaching program. So I just saw I'm completely out of time. Let me show you. So that's the first session we are running on those programs today. So I hope you bear with me and have a couple of minutes. So, but I will send you the presentation anyway, if someone has to help out. So that's to give you an example how you could do it working with Evoach and working with us. So we already have some predefined coaching chatbot modules on all the surrounding elements of self-assessment, of prepare your session, of follow through your session, which you could either take as is and bundle it into your coaching programs, or you can take any of those and adapt it and make it look and feel yours. Either translate them, you can change the language, you can insert little videos, or to get started, little meditations, briefing exercises. So you can take everything as is with like also standard models like the Crow or anything to define objectives, for example, and then easily adapt it for self-reflection, to add that part as digital self-reflection to your coaching program. So also for then follow up and evaluation, also content existing, so you don't have to get started on your own. You see those are rather small modules, rather small time invest, but it really makes a difference if you combine that with your own content. And how to get started and how to start building. I would stop this presentation now, and for those of you who do have the time to stay with me, I would show you our program interface to just give you a feeling how easy it is to get started working with eMoj.